Imagine you live comfortably in your country, you have a good job, family, and kids. The people around you are being stripped of their rights and are being sent away. How would you react? This is what happened when Hitler came to power in 1933. Laws were passed denying Jews their basic civil rights. Hitler called for the final solution to the Jewish problem and was lauded. Nobody reacted. I know many survivors. I've lost family members in the Holocaust, and I've done extensive research on this topic. I'll describe to you what the Holocaust was and how it came about, and I want to mention also some heroes during this time period. This unimaginable event was not something that occurred in ancient times. It occurred in modern history in the mid-20th century. The Holocaust is difficult to understand how it happened. It did not occur in a backwards third world country. It occurred in Germany, which was at the time probably the most civilized, advanced, and educated country in the world. It did not start overnight. Hitler came to power in 1933 and then made himself the dictator of Germany. He spread propaganda against the Jews and slowly stripped them of their rights. First, they were banned from certain public places. Then they were forbidden to have non-Jewish household help. Non-Jews were forbidden to go to Jewish stores, and Jews eventually lost their jobs. This was all reinforced when Hitler issued the Nuremberg laws in 1935. Jews lost their citizenship and were forced to wear yellow Judas stars. This was all part of Hitler's dehumanizing process. He got Germans to think as Jews as being subhuman, and a problem that has to be eliminated. Most historians would say that the Holocaust began on November 9, 1938. This was a night known as Kristallnacht, which means crystal night, or the night of broken glass. Pogrom broke out in Germany and Austria. Civilians, along with the Nazi paramilitary organizations as the SS and the SA, destroyed Jewish homes, businesses, and century-old synagogues, and left glass and rubble all over the streets. This was the beginning when Jews were first rounded up and sent to concentration camps. Prior and during World War II, Germany established and ran concentration camps such as Dachau. Millions of prisoners were sent to do labor mostly for German corporations. Many were killed through mistreatment, disease, starvation, and overwork, and some were just executed for not being fit for labor. People sent to these camps were political opponents, blacks, gays, gypsies, mentally ill and handicapped, and mainly Jews and Soviet POWs. In 1942, the Nazis established death camps for the sole purpose of carrying out Hitler's final solution. These were different than the concentration camps where they were forced to do labor. In these death camps, such as Auschwitz and Majdanek, one was not expected to live more than 24 hours. Massive gas chambers were built to kill Jews efficiently and as quickly as possible, and then bodies were cremated. Dr. Joseph Mengele conducted human experiments on Jews in Auschwitz. A teacher of mine, Mr. René Slakin, was lucky enough to survive Auschwitz because he and his twin sister were experimented on. Now that I've touched upon some of the atrocities that occurred in the Holocaust, I want to mention some special individuals who stood up to the Nazi persecution. In the Israeli Holocaust Memorial, Yad Vashem, where I had the opportunity to visit, over 21,000 people are honored for saving Jews. One of the most famous people is Oskar Schindler. who employed Jews in his factory, sparing them death. Another person I'd like to note is Raoul Wallenberg, a Swedish diplomat who is credited for saving over 15,000 Jews by issuing Swedish passports. I'd also like to mention an individual, Chiyun Sugiura, a Japanese diplomat who issued thousands of visas despite orders not to. These were a few of the many people who weren't passive and must always be remembered for their heroics. If you want to learn more about the Holocaust, you should go to the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum website at ushmm.org. I want to now show a clip of Schindler's List, which is a movie made about him. Jews were stripped of some of their rights, and people did not react. And then more rights were stripped. Eventually, Jews were sent to camps, and the population did not react. They allowed themselves to think of Jews that did not deserve any rights. Only the minute stood up, and they deserved to be credited for it. It is crucial to be educated about the Holocaust, so next time there will be no Holocaust.